With all the craziness in this world, we are here to have open and honest conversations to help navigate our thoughts.
Sometimes we are right and sometimes we're wrong. But in the end, if we aren't learning, we aren't living.
This is Philip.
And this is Wes.
And we are
Two Bottles Deep. Water here.
Hello, Wes.
Hey, Philip, cheers.
Cheers.
I had to get my water, make the cut.
Yeah, I hope it did. How are you, babe?
We were trying to stay hydrated. A lot of the allergies or something. If I'm nasally today, that's why.
You're something.
Girl,
I have not seen you in a month of Sundays.
That's a Jason Capps line right there.
It is. It's been a while.
I was at a hopping parade in Pana, Illinois. Oh,
what parade was it for Labor Day?
Pana Labor Day parade, largest parade.
What was the best float you saw?
Well, I got to talking to my friend Deb, so I didn't really see much of the parade. But my parents live on the parade route. Which if you live in
tell me you have money without telling me you have money.
Okay, yeah, you got it. I'll tell you, there's nothing like going back to a small town and like just seeing people you know and seeing people that you've known for many, many years. So it's a really neat feeling. But it happened again this year.
You were shirtless.
Nope.
Oh.
Or
throw her for a loop.
Someone come up. She's like, I don't see Philip. Last year, you said he was coming back for the parade this year. Remember last year we talked about it?
Yes, I did agree to that.
Shout out to Bobby Joe.
Bobby Joe, I'm sorry. I had something better to do.
I'll tell you, it was a great time. My little nephews, there's a fair. It's just everybody had a corn dog and all that stuff. And then my Mammer came back to Tennessee with me to stay with my aunt for a while.
What?
We road tripped.
You rode with Mammer's where? Where's Mammer right now?
She's she's west of here, about an hour or so with my aunt.
Just dropped her off.
Yeah, I'm like
at a rest stop, 159. She's.
But my aunt and her boyfriend are here, so she came to spend time with them. And we get in the car, and my grandma, without saying anything, she's like, "Oh, I'm ready to go." And I'm like, "All right, let's do it." Got her packed up, and she's like, "What do you call a bear with no teeth?"
Bear teeth?
I said, "I don't know." And she's like, "Gummy bear." So that's how our 5-hour road trip started back to Nashville. And we talked about the Great Depression. We talked about life now compared to life, like technology for her. Like she was 12 when they got a new a refrigerator when they came out. So it's just so interesting. We talked about the pace of life, and it was a moment that I know you have with your grandma, and it's just really great to have.
I would love to meet Mammer. When can I meat Mammer?
I don't know if she'll be in Nashville. I need to get her.
You can go get her.
I need to go get her, bring her to the studio.
Yeah, if you loved her,
she'll do an episode. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Oh my gosh, I would love that.
About all the stuff. What have you been up
to?
First
of all, the corn dog situation. Did you eat a corn dog?
I did not. Still vegetarian.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They don't have like some vegan stuff that you could eat.
They probably do at Trader Joe's, but Pana does not have a Trader Joe's.
I used to eat a corn dog, and I would eat just the breading around it and leave the dog itself. I don't know. I just was always worried I would clamp down on the stick that was in there. So I was just like gingerly.
When did you eat the hot dog then?
I never would.
Push it.
I was this weird kid. I would go to like a hot dog joint and be like, could I do the chili dog without the dog? And they were like, I got to get a manager. What are you talking about?
Like, you throw them off. They're like, where's the button for that?
And I'm also like, I'll pay for the whole thing. Like it's $1.79 at that point. I'm not trying to get a discount on the dog, but
I would be not vegetarian for that meal.
For a chili dog,
just for a corn dog or a chili dog.
Oh gosh,
do you do it with onions?
Don't put mustard on top of my chili.
Yeah,
don't do that.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I forget where I was. I'm not gonna say recently, but last weekend, I was at a food truck outside of an establishment for homosexuals, which is a wonderful place to put a food truck, by the way, just right outside a gay bar. Just in case. Get ready. What were we talking about? Corn dogs
and chili dogs and mustard.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you had a good drive with Mammer.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was. I just love spending time with her. She'll be 90 this Christmas.
I love it.
1933.
Still, we're a big ass party.
Yeah, we're gonna party. We're gonna have a good time.
Let's party.
What's party? What have you been up to,
girl,
bro,
honey?
Yes.
Living. I was in Los Angeles for my first MC job.
Way to go. You're big time. I'm honored to be here with you right now.
am dying. I feel like I'm gayer now. Like, what's going on with me? So my friend, our friend, Yale, asked me to come out for his husband and Bobby's 50th, and they're doing this whole event because they can't do a party without
Flamethrowers.
It's just I was like
mermaids.
He was like, "Do you want to know what's going on?" I'm like, "No, I don't know anything. Like, I just want to show up and just I love the excitement that he throws at these parties." So, yeah, so went out there, stayed at an Airbnb with Ty and Tyler. Loved them so much, and Elizabeth, she's wonderful, and it was great. The event was, I don't even know how many people, like 1,000, but no, it was probably like 130. But it was, cocktail, tuxedos.
Yeah.
Everybody looked famous. So I just spent the whole time just like, what are you on CSI? General Hospital? What are you doing? But it was funny because I wore my gold sequin jacket.
Looked amazing.
Which I was telling everybody, I was like, I look like a gay cruise director. And they were like, yeah, you do. But there's a certain amount of responsibility you have as an MC to make sure that the people that are involved in the show, are where they're going. So there were things like, Philip, at 6:45, can you carry the merman from the dressing room into the pool? I was like, what? Do I look like I could carry a merman? And sure enough, here she comes. He comes right up, this little skinny kid, and he's like, hi, I'm the merman. And I'm like, what is happening? Then he went and changes into his, tail. Is that what it's called?
The
tail?
Mermaid
the tail.
Tail.
Yeah. I didn't have to carry him. He was able to walk out and put his tail on in the water, thank God.
Oh.
So I got to hang out with a merman, which was great. He spent the whole time flipping his flipper and waving at people. I wonder how much he made for that. Like, literally all he did is sat in the pool. And
is that his real job?
He's like, I should have asked. He's
Hey,
a professional merman. He's a PM. And then the secret guest was this drag queen called Jackie Beats. And she's been on the drag scene for years. She was in New York for a while doing lots of shows. She's in Los Angeles now, of course. And she's one of these drag queens that just roast people for filth. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. She's there in this fun, sort of lighthearted way. And I kind of knew that, but I had to go meet her when she got there to get her into the house before people started arriving. And I'm in my full on, gay cruise director outfit. And she gets out of her car and I was like, hi, Jackie, I'm Philip. And she goes, I didn't know Walmart sold sports coats. I was like, is it happening now? Or is this the show?
The show has not started. And she's in character already.
From that point until she left, she did not stop berating me. But it was fun, but it just caught me off guard because I was expecting, like, thank you. Right. So Jackie Beats was there. And then I was like walking around mingling, not for any other reason other than just making sure I was not missing a famous person. Hi, what do you do? Are you on set somewhere? Which is not what you say, by the way. But at one point I was talking to somebody and, flirting sort of. And a lady like waves her hand and I turned and she was like, hi, could I do a Bobby Martini? And I was like, I'm not the wait staff, right? She goes, huh. But can I get it? Or so my ass went and got her a Bobby Martini. But it was fun. I'm very grateful. I know Yale will listen to this, and Yale, I'm super grateful for you for asking me to do that. It was an honor. And it was fun, and I absolutely loved it. I want to do it again.
And if y'all have not heard, a few seasons ago, Jason and I told the story of Philip dressing like the wait staff at our Dallas New Year's Eve party. We round the corner and we're like, outfit. Oh God, Philip had no clue. And you were sending people on break. So it's funny, that just kind of happens, but you looked amazing.
Thank you, babe.
At Philip Hedrick on Instagram, you put a reel up and it is phenomenal. And Bobby and Yale are the nicest people.
Incredible.
And Suzanne Hogan.
I got to see Suzanne. She was there. Went to have dinner with her at the Beverly Hilton. And I was I just was I was so intimidated only because it was like so fancy and so cool, and I'd never been there. But she's so sweet, and her husband Mike is amazing. They told amazing stories, and we laughed and laughed, and they paid for dinner. Thank goodness, because the gnocchi was $42. I was like, is there a salad on here?
3 pieces of kale.
You know, when you look at the menu and you're like,
Yeah.
good God.
Oh, I can imagine out
You know,
there.
I'm not that hungry. I'll probably just do a cracker. Or...
Here's what gets me. It's like, I had a late lunch.
Right,
Like, it's like 7 o'clock at night. Like, you need to eat again.
I literally was like, I'll just get a salad and I'll get a food truck when I leave.
There's got to be corn dog vendors out there.
Oh, yeah.
On WeHo Drive or whatever.
But it was good. It was a good trip. Thank you for asking. Babe.
And when we were out there doing shows last year, Bobby and Yale were the kindest.
Mm.
That's what I love about this podcast. We got to meet some of your amazing friends. They're so gracious.
I saw Sean Holly. She said to tell you hello.
Oh, Sean Holly.
Yes.
Hi.
I completely embarrassed myself because she walks up. She looks stunning in this black, beautiful number. And I'd spent so much time greeting guests that my first word to her was, oh my gosh, it's nice to meet you. And she goes, nice to meet me. And I was like, shit, of all people to say that to, it's Sean Holly. But anyway, Sean Holly, if you're listening, I know you are.
Ty and Tyler. Now those are the 2 I haven't met yet, who seem amazing.
I'm absolutely obsessed with them. They are the perfect example of a loving gay couple. They're kind, caring, they're fun, supportive, just everything about them. I freaking love them. And their friend Elizabeth, who is like, she's like me in the sense that she's always ready to get a dig in, and she kept me laughing. I mean, my sides were hurting. It was so much. It was good therapy, really, for me. Great
people in your life.
Yes, I'm really grateful.
It's amazing
for that.
Yes.
Do you know what we're going to talk about today?
I do know. It's been a while since we've done.
You know what we need to talk about? The old mailbag.
I feel like that song is played on Family Guy when they're doing a news report.
Yeah, I feel like we've used it a lot.
I feel like I need a funny punchline there.
All right, guys, we had quite a bit of feedback these past few months, and we are very thankful for that. So keep sending those emails and DMs and all that stuff in. So if we didn't mention you, it's not because we didn't care. It's just we had a lot of going on,
and it's been a while. Since we've done a mailbag. I almost forgot about it. But
all right, I'm going to be up first. So here we go. Our first one. Let's see. Do I need? I've already done an intro. Let's go. Hey guys, in your gay news update episode, y'all talked about Wes working with a matchmaker. How expensive is this?
Oh my God.
Also, can you join and just be someone that you get matched with? Or do you have to pay for the full matchmaking service? Wes, I'd be happy to drive up and meet you at Love Language for a date.
Oh,
just saying. Love you guys. Craig from Montgomery, Alabama. I love that Craig is like trying to get a discount version of the matchmaking service. Do I have to do the whole thing, or is there just kind of like tease my way in?
Or just a free date with me at Love Language. Like maybe you can bypass it, Craig.
Well, you want to go out with Craig?
Hey, I would.
You haven't heard his voice yet.
Of my Craig, if you could call in right now.
Hi, Wes. Would you die if he called?
Hey,
Wes.
Craig is one of my favorite names.
Is it?
Yeah, I just love that name for a guy.
I don't know if I haven't ever. All right. So how expensive is it? Can you join and just be someone that you get matched with? Answer those questions for us, Wes.
Okay. Wasn't prepared for this one. You usually have to join and buy a certain package. So that could be a year subscription, 6-date subscription, anything like that. And it runs anywhere from like 10 to 20,000. But it's all offline. It's all, you don't see a picture. But what's neat is you can send pictures of guys you've dated to them because they match you up on paper. And then you tell them the description. You know, if you are a person that likes tall guys, that helps them narrow it down. I'm one of those. To me, it's more about a match on paper. Again, knowing there has to be an attraction, but I don't have like a height restriction or age restriction or anything like that. Within so many years before or after my age would be ideal. So with that being said, that's what I send them. We talk. It's kind of like a recruiter for a job. You talk through things. It's kind of like therapy at times, which is really nice. And it's a slow process. So you definitely, there's people that have been a part of this for 2 and 3 years because it just takes time.
Do they give you a guarantee?
No guarantee.
Okay.
Nope.
And how many guys' pictures did you send them?
6.
That's not many at all.
But then, like, who's the Magic Mike guy? I put his picture in there. So I did. What's that guy?
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, that's
Chatham.
it. Channing
Channing
Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Whatever.
Yeah. You put Channing Tatum.
Yes.
You know, the
Well,
matchmaker was like, girl, stop.
You didn't name him. I did. I sent 3 X's and like 3 other guys that were realistic, and then like Channing. Because and again, you know who I've dated, like one's tall, one's short, one was bald, one had great hair.
Yeah, you've been all over the place.
All over the place. So
have you had, how many matchmaking dates have you had?
4.
4. Okay. Is there anything in the foreseeable future for matchmaking?
So now we are talking, excuse me, different cities. And just because there's not much here in Nashville, and most of it is long distance, but you could be open to moving, or they could be open to moving here. But they're usually very established people in a club like that, and you know, it kind of I mean, it's a distance thing, and I'd be open to distance at this point in my life if there was a connection and you kind of saw a future. So yeah, I have them there. So they do like kind of a search in cities that you want. You know, Chicago's close to here. There's a lot of people in Chicago, and I don't think I would ever like want to match with someone in New York or someone like too far away.
Yeah. Well, Craig, if you want to reach out to us, I'd be happy to set up the date at Love Language. You get 1 hour, 2 drinks each. Is that it?
Yeah, max of 2 drinks.
Max of 2 drinks. So if you're okay with that, I'll set it up for you, babe.
Set it up.
Yeah, send me a little DM.
Yeah, at Philip Hedrick. We'll keep it all like, well, he knows what I look like.
Yeah, he does.
Well, that's a good thing.
Send a picture.
I almost want the matchmaker to send those guys a picture because I don't like rejection. And you don't like when you go up to a blind date, you're like, oh God, I kind of want them to be somewhat attracted to me before they meet me. Because I don't do rejection well at all.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, that is a hard one to master. Thanks, Craig. And if anybody wants the hookup there, I can get you in touch with the matchmaker. She actually met her husband through a company called It's Just Lunch.
Oh, remember those on the plane,
they
honey.
advertised in the magazines on the plane, and it took her 2 years, and they've been married 15 years now. Well, and then she saw a need for her gay friends that could not find love at a bar or online. So that's why it's kind of a club, but there's payment plans and stuff like that. So I think it's a great investment, and just to try it out.
Well, Craig, thank you for emailing us. We appreciate it. All right, babe.
Yeah, Craig. Hope everything's great in Montgomery.
Let's queue up our next email.
It's like sneaky music, like a cartoon. Someone
sneak out of the house
to another. Yeah,
I've never snuck out of the house. Did you ever sneak out of the house?
No, I had every opportunity to, and there was like a walkout part of the house. Like,
did I?
Where would you go? You were in the middle of nowhere.
Probably can't tell.
To the barn. I snuck out, and then you're like 40 miles from any city.
Hello.
My room. We had like this. Our house was on a hill, so we had a walkout basement, and the living room and all that was down there. My bedroom was down there, so I could have snuck out all the time. I just wasn't a partier in high school.
I wouldn't either.
Until I got to college.
Oh, turn up.
Back to the MB.
All right,
mailbag.
here you go.
To the host of 2 Bottles Deep.
Hi.
Hey. I have listened to a few of your episodes in no particular order. I don't think trans people should not be worrying about playing sports. They need to be worrying about their safety. I don't care how you live your life. And I definitely don't think that trans people should play in professional sports or at the Olympics. But don't care if they want to be, or I don't care, sorry. But I don't care if they want to be trans. I feel like your opinions have changed some on this issue. Am I wrong? That's from Bradley in Ohio.
Bradley, I love that. It's just very direct. I don't think trans people should not be worrying about playing sports. Bradley, you actually touch on something that I think you're right. I know I have changed my opinion a little bit on things, but it's mainly because as Wes and I continue to learn, it helps you form an opinion. And it doesn't mean that you're anti or pro anything. It's just like I'm just becoming more informed. Um, so I don't know exactly how my opinions changed, but I know that I was probably, I mean, well, I'll give you an example of how an opinion's changed. Initially, the pronouns thing was a huge, I was like, we should ask pronouns. Wes and I talked about this. We should make sure, but we don't do that because for me, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't. So that's an example. But with trans people, uh, yes, it's an evolving opinion that I have, Bradley, about trans people because I'm learning more and meeting more trans people, and it's helping me build a better understanding of them.
Mhm.
But I appreciate the fact that you feel comfortable enough telling us what you think, Bradley.
And he's from Ohio? Isn't that where Leah Thomas, or that was Penn
Oh,
State
yeah, it was.
or
I
somewhere
don't
out
want to.
east?
Yeah,
Ohio's kind of east, I think.
somebody will write in being like, you were wrong,
Yeah, no, it wasn't
Pennsylvania.
there.
What about you,
I
baby?
think Caitlyn Jenner said it best. Leah Thomas was not wrong. She was following the NCAA rules, but I mean, she transitioned at 20 and she
Yeah.
was already 6'4", wingspan, of like 6-7 foot. And that was an unfair advantage. I'm on the side of science. We've had amazing trans guests. I would hate to take anything away from them. If people start transitioning earlier and it's okay to do, and the hormones and the testosterone blockers, and they can compete at the female level. Now I'm talking trans female, so born male transitioning to female. If you
Yep.
transition like Megan's daughter at an early age, maybe science will prove that, yeah, she is a female and can compete as a female. I just don't think the Leah Thomas thing, or if you're transitioning after puberty, I think science is, for me, I'm on the side of that's really an unfair advantage. And if you're talking about 0.01% of the population, if they don't have that opportunity, that's just, they're transitioning, they're going to live the life they want. But I don't think it's fair to a cisgender person who was born female and now is competing against someone who's male, depending on when they transitioned.
Absolutely.
I just can't wait to see more science in the years to come on all of this stuff.
I love how Bradley says, I don't care how you live your life. And I definitely don't think trans people should play in professional sports. It's like, whoa, that's a sentence right there. Do whatever you want to do, but don't let trans people play in professional sports.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're right, Bradley. I know my opinion's changing. It's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
But I think that's good. I don't want to have the same opinion that I had when I was 18 about something. I want to just keep growing. So
yeah, in college, there was like a girl that wanted to join a fraternity. And I'm trying to remember this scenario because we were all up in arms. And like, I remember thinking, well, there's like 12 sororities on campus. I don't understand. And it wasn't a trans thing. She was not trans. She just wanted to, it's kind of like a boy wanted to be in the Girl Scouts and all that. It's like, there's a fraternity, there's a sorority, there's Boy Scouts, there's Girl Scouts. It is what it is. So,
I mean, in high school, we had a male cheerleader. You would have thought at that point it was the most shocking thing people had ever seen. He'd come out and do flips, and people were like, "Don't look, don't let the kids look," Or like there was always like a story of like a girl wanting to play on the football team in high school, and you're like,
they're always the kicker or something.
I mean, but like you let her play and she gets killed. Like, okay, what are you proving?
We're in a time of so much equality, which I mean, it's great, but there's some. I wouldn't want my daughter. Yeah, exactly. We need to settle down. I wouldn't want my daughter around a 350-pound lineman. That just doesn't make sense. My dad always said you're going to have opportunities no one else has, and there's going to be a lot of people out of opportunities that you will never have. Get over it, and kind of go your way. Do the best you can with what life deals you, or deals to you, or what you're dealt with, and just be the best person, the best human you can.
Oh, wow.
That is a standing ovation.
Guys, please sit. We're not finished. Okay. Well, thank you, Bradley. We do appreciate you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. All right. Here's our next intro.
Yep.
Whoa.
Why did
Okay.
I say yep? Like,
Yep.
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 I
Nailed
would
that
be a
one.
horrible DJ. I'd be like, all right, next
Yep.
song. Like,
Yep. That was Whitney Houston. I will always love you. All right. Here we go. Dear Wes and Phil. Oh, God. I take issue with your opinions on circuit parties that you talked about in the episode called Bigots, Circuit Parties, and Animal Noises. You made it sound like that everyone that went to circuit parties did heavy drugs and were pretending to be masculine. I've been to 15 circuit parties so far and absolutely love them. I've never done drugs and I wear very feminine clothing. Sure, there are bad seeds in every situation, but telling your listeners that circuit parties are just drug parties is wrong. Other than that, I love listening to y'all. Cam in Louisville.
Louisville. Yeah,
Cam.
Good point. I don't remember saying that everybody that maybe that
We-
was my opinion.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
probably
did kind of pump that out a little bit.
Oops, sorry,
But,
Cam.
like our previous email, do we change our opinion on things?
Yeah.
Maybe. And Wes and I, everybody, we say things sometimes and you listen back and you're like, I don't know if I meant that exactly. But
Oh, for sure.
I think, yes. Are there drugs at circuit parties? Yes, absolutely. 100%. I was just at a circuit party in Charlotte. I know it, but it also was not the prominent thing there. It was this amazing show and people were having a great time and dancing was amazing. So yeah, maybe I was a little wrong. Maybe there's not everybody doing drugs. It's not a big deal. Cam, I love that you can dress feminine and don't do drugs and go to a circuit party. I love that for you. And thank you for pointing that out. Wes?
Yeah, and how many times have we wanted to stay away from the word all? Like all Christians, all lesbians, all gay Republicans, all Republicans. Well, you got to stay away from that word. So here we're living and learning. If we said that, I do apologize, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on at clubs and bars. I mean, I think people go for only one of three reasons: to have a good time with their friends, to get messed up, or to find hookups. So, and there's nothing wrong with any of those, depending on what season of life you're in.
Yeah.
So go have fun. It's just not my thing. So I do have a different opinion on that, of course. But yeah, that's the hard part. I don't want to offend people. And when I listen back, sometimes I'm like, oh, other than saying and like a lot, which I'm trying to master. Thank you, Toastmasters. I want to make sure Candace Owens doesn't say everything right. Tommy Loren doesn't say everything right.
No,
Piers
nobody
Morgan.
does.
So I'm just like that perfectionist and I mess up a lot. And it's just, we're at a point, it's like, let's just turn the mics on and start talking.
Absolutely.
and
That's exactly what we did
Here
tonight.
go.
There was no intro. Cam, thank you for pointing that out. You're right. We shouldn't have said all circuit party people or druggies.
And hey, you never know if there's
at least 50%.
I'm going to go with 73.
Yeah, you're probably right.
If we ever get to Louisville, there's a Play nightclub.
Oh my God.
Up there.
Love that.
Have you been there?
Yes. Well,
I've never been.
Omar and I did New Year's Eve there a few years ago. And it was, once again, we were dressed in both like sequin jackets and people were like, are y'all an older boys band? I'm like, how much older are we thinking here? Are you kidding me?
Did they not dress up in Louisville for New Year's Eve?
I was like, is it New Year's here? Is this a different? Are we on a different time frame?
Yeah, I would go, maybe stand in the back, and I just don't like that music. But I am open to.
Yes, you are.
Anything. I think I went to one for the Pride in Austin years ago. I think it was crazy lights and people were dancing around and stuff. So, but anyway, thanks, Cam.
Thank you, Cam.
Love
we
you
do
too.
appreciate you doing that and keep dressing feminine, boo. All right. Next episode, next mail. Here we go.
Yep. Oh. This is epic music. I love it.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I wouldn't expect Wes to know what absinthe is as he is sober. Yeah, I thought it was a drug. But Philip, I gotta correct you on one thing. Oh, you're about to get schooled, dog. You said absinthe is a flavor profile, and that's completely wrong. Absinthe is an anise flavored drink, flavored drink.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that word is. An overproof liquor, meaning that it's a spirit whose alcohol by volume is over 50%. Oh, good Lord. I would be on the tush. Now you know. Juliet in Nevada.
Juliet, what I need you to do is to calm the hell down.
Juliet.
All right, Juliet.
Hey,
listen.
She's in Nevada. She's in Las Vegas. She's probably at a raver right now.
You know, she talked about it too, like for 2 days.
Uh-huh.
She was like, "You will not believe." I was listening to the podcast the other day, and these two queens out of
dare
Nashville
them.
had no idea what absinthe was. Juliet, you're right. I made a mistake. I spoke out of my butt again. But thank you for telling me what absinthe is. It's going to help me in the future.
Yeah, they had them at bars.
Why am I mad
in
at
Austin.
Juliet right now?
Yeah, you were livid. You're like, your
Juliet,
leg
I'm
is
sorry.
shaking.
I just got pissed.
Yeah, he's emailing you back right now. They always had it. I always thought it was like the absinthe. I don't know. I thought it was like a sugar cube or something. Or maybe those were
There's
sugar
a lot
cubes.
of things in cocktails like vermouth. I have no idea what vermouth is. Like, is it I don't know. Is it in a bottle? Is it a dropper? Do you rim the glass with it?
Vermouth. Yeah.
I don't know. And absinthe, I thought it was like, I don't know. I did think it was like in a little vial that you would like dip, like that kind of thing. I don't know. Juliet would know. We should go to her house.
Like a test tube.
Yes.
You know how you get like the vitamin E oil and you like, and then squirt it out. That's what I think it is. Speaking of drinks, I went to Juliet. You just reminded me of something. Last Friday. I went to the 8th Lounge across from Zany's, and it is.
Yeah.
Have you been in there?
Yes,
it is so neat.
It's perfect.
I don't know why I'm British now.
I don't either.
I went there. Jamie Floyd, who is a great songwriter and singer here in town, was having a showcase there, and went on a date again by myself. It was gorgeous.
Date number 2. This is getting serious.
Yeah, he's hot. And so I was sitting there, and first of all, she brought over a flashlight. She's like, "You can't see anything." So I'm like the old guy with the flashlight on the menu now. And it's kind of darker in there. But I was reading all this, and I'm like, I had to look up every word on the cocktail menu. And then some were CBD. Well, then who walks in? Jake Hoot and his wife, because Jake sings with Jamie. So anyway, they sat with me, and I'm like, y'all, I don't know what these words are. So the waitress comes over, and I'm like, I kind of want to try this one, but can you take the CBD out? Because I don't want to get fucked up. And she started laughing so hard. She's like, you won't get fucked up. I'm like, well, it says CBD. Like, I don't want to be in the middle of a concert and then just start laughing.
I don't know if I've ever had a drink with CBD in it.
Isn't CBD the pot brownie thing? Like CBD is pot.
Ask Juliet. I'm sure I'm going to be wrong about it. Juliet, could you send us an email about this?
So I was really scared. Like, I've done a gummy. I enjoyed it. I laughed a lot. Yeah. But I couldn't drive. And my motor skills were it was like a half a small gummy. So I was expecting this drink menu had all that. So I ended up getting a kombucha peach tea thing.
Do you even know what
I had no clue.
I see kombucha or kombucha, whatever it is. What in the heck? It's like, what is it?
I think it's like a fermented tea or something.
Okay. Do you drink it to what? To make you poop, or is it to clear
it's
out
really
your...
good for your gut? But this was like it almost looked like a seltzer, and it was a peach flavor or a pear flavored. It was really, really good. I forget the name, but it was like pear something kombucha. But again, I think too, there's so many people not drinking now, and you would get a soda water with lime and stuff, and it'd be like $3. Well, now these mocktails are like $18. So hey, kudos to the bars for cashing in.
I mean, if I'm paying $18, it better have liquor in it. Because I know, I'm just saying, like, but what are you paying for? 3 juices like and an absinthe or something?
For myself. Yeah. So Juliet, we need to come to Nevada.
I'm sorry I got mad at you. I have a moment sometimes.
We can go out there and see her. Carrie Underwood's doing a residency.
Oh my God, Juliet, we're coming out to stay with you. You make us something of absinthe. Actually, I don't like absinthe. It's a flavor. No, but every time I hear it, I remember it's like a memory of like me drinking it and making that face. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. That's why I'm addicted. Do you want a Listerine strip?
I sure do.
I don't know. Oh, so good. There you go.
But these are always so shocking. I thought about you. We went to this, accidentally went to a vegan restaurant in Los Angeles because on the menu, babe, it was like, you'd look at the menu outside the restaurant, it would be like crab cakes, 64-ounce T-bone. I'm like, yes, we're killing it. Those all were in quotes that I didn't really pay attention to because I had been day drinking. We get in there, and the waitress comes up to the table, and her name was like Ethereal or Heaven.
Ethereal.
I'm
Is
just
that
like,
like cereal with
I-
a lisp?
She
Ethereal.
goes, I just wanted to start by apologizing to you. We are a vegan restaurant, but we do have one vegetarian item.
Ooh, branching out with the.
I was like, what the hell?
Wait, why did she apologize?
Because
She just-
vegans don't like vegetarians, I guess, because that's their I don't know.
Why can't everybody get along?
I don't know. Hold on before we do
We
this.
went to when we went out there with the guys, it wasn't vegan, but I think they had a vegetarian option. Be careful. If you're watching on YouTube, he's choking on a Listerine strip.
Oh gosh.
How'd these get back over here? Did you give them to me?
Yeah, they're laced with something.
Mhm.
Okay. Well,
they should
Juliet,
make gummy Listerine strips. How about that?
somebody get on that.
Here we go.
Thank you, Juliet, for writing in and making me mad. I appreciate you so much.
So sweet.
All right. All right. Who's up now?
I'm having a great hair day.
Here we go. You do look great, babe. Philip and Wes, I want to tell you how much I enjoyed and learned from your episode with Brody Ray. The way you handled the interview was masterful. I could have listened to 2 more hours from all of you. Random question. Do you ever find trans people attractive, but then when you find out that they are no longer attractive? I hope that doesn't sound transphobic, just saying how I feel. R in New York. It's like,
oh, that's a good question. I will admit.
I can also admit.
Well, no, I have something else to admit.
Trans?
No.
Oh.
So I was at the gym, my gym where I live, and this guy was like walking down the side. The gym looks out over the pool. He was coming, tank top, short, kind of like hair like mine, close on the side, longer on the top. And I'm like, oh shit, I hope he's coming to work out because he is really cute. It was a lesbian. Yeah, she got in there. It was a lesbian, dude. I'm like, oh, she was gorgeous, but I'm like, then I was not attracted.
I've done that before, but I've also R in New York. Thank you for not leaving your full name. Maybe you go by R. R.
Yeah.
Yes, I can say in honesty that I have done that. I've been at a bar and I was like, whoa, super hot. It was a female to male trans. And I was like, whoa, hello, mister. And then when this sounds really awful to say, but I mean, might as well be honest. And then when I found out, I was like, oh. I mean, that's just not my jam. But
right.
Maybe it is. I don't know. But yes, I've done that where you think you like somebody and you find out who they are.
The first time we saw Brody when we were sitting at City Winery, I think we both were like, wow, that guy's, and that was before.
Absolutely.
That was before we knew he was trans because they all came out on stage.
Example. Because I remember I looked at you, I was like, oh my God.
He had a beard. And I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
he looked sexy.
Yeah.
And then but I didn't get disappointed. I was just like, oh,
yeah.
Well, that's not going to work for me.
It would work for me. Yeah. I think if the connection was there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it would.
Well, you love who you love. So
you do. And sometimes you're just attracted to who you're attracted to. So I'd never say never.
That's a good way to live. I should retract that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's not for me.
Because
I'm open to it.
Never know.
Never know. God, I'm going to get emails
so,
for
but
this one.
As a gay man, you want there to be a penis there. So with surgery, my question would be, how real is it? I've never seen one. I've never Googled one. I mean, it's a surgery.
I want to see it.
I don't know. Yeah.
I want to see one.
So maybe it would work. Maybe it wouldn't. So, but yeah, I've been attracted to trans people before. None that I was like close with, but just from afar.
I'm
wow, really,
absolutely
really attracted for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good question, Aaron. I think it's great to open up and ask those questions. Like Brody was saying, we actually got an email or a DM from another trans guy who's a singer.
Oh, that's right.
And saying how great that episode was. And he was from Seattle, I believe.
Cage or?
Yeah, we follow him now.
Cage. Yes. And Cage, thank you for responding back to, I sent him a sweet message about thank you. And he's been great.
Yeah. And he's
performing all the time.
He's a trans man. And he said he learned a lot from Brody. So thanks, Brody, for coming on.
Yeah.
It's funny how different trans people can learn from trans people.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not
Well, everybody's
not a foreign
experience
thing.
within that. Same thing with gay, right? Every gay person's had such a wide variety of experiences. You can learn from that. So, yeah, I think that's great to share those stories.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, R.
Yeah. All right, New
Appreciate
York.
you.
New
Yes.
York. I like it.
All right.
I can't wait to hear this music.
Let's go. Oh,
Oh,
hold
the
on. Let's give you
sneaky
another one.
again.
Hey.
I love a tuba. Or it's not a tuba.
It's like the brass section.
Yeah, that was
It's like 8 trombones.
trombone.
76 trombones in the big parade. Oh.
Hey guys. By the way, if you're ever doing a TED Talk or you're in front of a large group, don't say guys. Because I always find that when someone comes out and does a TED Talk, they're like, hey guys. And there's like women in the audience. It's weird. Obviously, this email's to us and we're guys.
I think you're probably right, but it's slightly annoying.
So hard. Or you walk up to a table and you're like, hey guys. I don't know. It's just annoying.
Hey, boo. Hey, buddy.
But anyway, this email is from Jake. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Jake.
Hey, Jake. Jake says, hey guys, I love how vulnerable both of you get and how open you are. I consider my Wednesday morning drives as my therapy time with you two. Ha. Okay. I enjoy hearing other people's take on their dating rules or their do's and don'ts, if you will. But I want to know if either of you have made a major mistake on a date, or when you left the date, you said to yourself, quote, gosh, I messed that up, end quote. Thanks for the free therapy. I hope we help. I would pay for therapy. And
Jake, I have not messed up before in anything. So
Philip is
perfect.
Is 10 and 0.
No, I mean, I can think of, I should have thought about this ahead of time, I guess. I mean, recently the guy who I left the coffee in the seat and he sat on it and it looked like a shit stain. That was a horrible mistake because I think it really ended badly. I made a joke. I've made several jokes that didn't fly well on dates. I think when I first moved to Nashville, I made many mistakes because I came in so freaking hot. Not like physically that I thought was hot, but just like just managing the whole date, just rambling on. It just, yes, many mistakes that people were like, I don't think this is going to work. You're just a lot to deal with. I'm like, what are you talking about? Put it in an email. I'm going to review it.
I think you got to be careful because you still need someone that matches your energy or can take that energy. So you said it before on that episode that at some point, the first date, you might be a little reserved, but once I get to know you, hey, this is me, this is my friend group. You got to be in, and you got to be in with his friend group. So I think a lot of the do's and don'ts are stuff that we agree with that we said on that episode or stuff that happened. I messed up once. It was too soon to date, and I talked about an ex. This was after my first breakup.
You're like showing pictures. You're like, this is him.
Like,
It's him with the dog.
Is his mom. His mom was great. Dad, not so much. But I just went too deep in it, and it may have been like a minute, but it was still like, don't talk about an ex.
Yeah.
And I don't like when that happens, but I'll admit I'll be vulnerable. It's hard to say. Vulnerable.
Nailed it.
I'll be it. Because I've messed up a lot. And then I think we all, maybe a lot of us,
don't say all
on the drive home. Yeah.
Can't say all.
People will drive home and you start like this self-sabotage to yourself. And you're like, God, did I look good enough? Did I say something wrong? I wanted to say this? Because you know me, I like to have my bullet points about sports and animals. And if we get off track and then I'm thrown off and then I have to go back to my notes.
Bullet points about sports and animals.
I can't remember that. So yeah, I've messed up a lot of times.
Jake, but we've all messed up and you will too.
And have self-compassion because you're going to go on a date and you think you mess it up. And then he'll text you when he gets home and says, I have to see you again. That was amazing. So always have that confidence in yourself. Have you ever struggled with confidence like on a date? Or after?
Oh, after for sure. What was that? What was that?
I don't know.
What was I doing?
I was going to throw a Listerine straight.
I needed one. Shit. Oh yeah. But I fake it. I'm like, oh, I got this. No, it's not a big deal. And then they get there and they're hotter than you, which is hard to imagine. But they are, and you're just like, oh gosh, like.
I know. I'm sitting across from Channing Tatum
Right.
after my next match.
Right.
He's just
Your
going to
next
show
pickleball
up.
match. All right, Jake.
Jake, do you play pickleball?
Yeah, Jake.
If you're in Nashville, come on out, buddy.
Come on out, boo-boo.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think once you evaluate,
yeah,
and sit with yourself and kind of like know where you are, it's like, okay, what did and acknowledge where you messed up. Acknowledge, because then you won't do it again. I mean,
or if you
chalk it
do,
up.
look, we learned from Simona. Don't be compassionate to yourself. Be
so
nice
hard.
to you. Be kind to yourself. Yeah. We're so nice to everybody else.
We're
be
not
kind to us,
and we're not used to that. Have you ever done that? It's like a thing you do in the mirror and
self, like an affirmation or
affirmations,
positive
and you
affirmations.
look at yourself and say great things about yourself. And it's hard for people to do that. Try it right now, y'all. Like, try to say great things about yourself. And sometimes it's hard to do, or you don't want to believe it. You are beautiful. You are kind. You are this. And sometimes it's hard to do.
This is a slight sidebar, girl. When I got home from Los Angeles, I was wired. And so just having fun and the flight and all that. And I get home and it was 11:30 at night and I had to be up at 5. So I took a half melatonin and I was like, I've got to go to sleep. So I go to YouTube and I type in like positive mindfulness, sleep meditation. And it's this girl with this voice that, she's like, tonight will be the night. And it starts. And I'm like, I'm channeling Simona Mango at this point. I'm like, okay, I've got this. 2 minutes in, my mind I'm like, what's her accent from? It sounds like she's from Los Angeles. Where is she from originally, I wonder? And then I start Googling. I'm like, I can't even stay focused.
You're like, was she at Bobby's party?
Right.
Was this the voiceover lady?
Then I get mad and end up putting on like piano music and, sobbing.
There's nice calming music. Was I supposed to pick you up from the airport?
No.
Oh, good. I just realized.
Oh, I should have said yes. No,
Elena walked home.
Elena picked me up.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just thought about that.
What?
3 weeks later.
All right. Next, I don't even know what songs to play anymore. Let's just do this one.
Hit it up.
Hey, here we go. Dear Wes and Phil. That's capitalized. The Lynn Anderson episode was so good. I almost didn't click on it as I'd never heard of her, but I'm sure glad I did. Being a country fan, I thought I knew a lot about the genre, but it seems I have much to learn. Her daughters didn't elaborate on what they did for careers. Are they in music too? Much love from Milwaukee, Stephanie M.
Ooh, Milwaukee has. So I used to live in Lake Geneva, and is
that where the big mall is? Is that Minnesota?
Oh, that's Minnesota.
Okay.
So that's like 8
Sorry.
hours. Lake Geneva is just over the border. So a lot, like Michael Jordan has a home there, the Wrigley family. It's kind of like the Hamptons to the Chicagoans. It's right across the border into Wisconsin. And then you go up to Milwaukee. And they have so when I was there, we went up to Summerfest. They have an outdoor amphitheater, and you see Kenny Chesney, Toby Keith. They had a great summer series. So Stephanie, I'm sure you've been there, but if you haven't or you're new to Milwaukee, check out the summer concert series. It's all country. It's so much fun. They also have a great kite festival there. I'm also way off script because she's asking us about Lynn Anderson, and I'm talking about kites.
To circle back if you don't mind.
These Listerine gummy strips.
Yeah, they're laced.
I am tripping on pot, y'all.
Did you just raise?
I raised roof, and tripping on pot, I don't think is a thing.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Lynn's daughters do not do music. One is actually Lisa. Her oldest daughter talked about the rights to Lynn's songs and her grandma and grandpa's songs, that they have a huge catalog of music, and she's spending a lot of time at the publishing places, publishing houses, whatever they're called, to get those rights back into her mom's name. So sometimes when you write a wrong and the rights are owned by whatever record label you're with, I don't know how all that works. But she's actually working with lawyers to get some of those rights back, to be like, hey, this is their art. Kind of like doing a painting and somebody else takes credit.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that in Nashville, they put it down in writing. They start email chains because they want the rights to that song. It's like, hey, I started writing these lyrics in 2012, and here's my email to prove it. You sent me an email in 2022. So that's what she's doing.
Mm.
But I mean, her grandparents were famous. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're going back to the 40s and 50s in all these catalogs. And Bunny, her youngest, doesn't do music. She'll sing her mom's songs at charity events, but she doesn't. Neither of them really. They're not in music, I guess.
Yeah. I actually met them for the first time during the interview. They were perfect, and we had a great time with them. So thank them again for coming on.
And what they did do, they brought, so when Lynn had Rose Garden out, that became her staple song, and one she played at every concert. Mark Logsdon, who represented her, who's a dear friend of ours,
Love
hi
Mark.
Mark, said that Lynn told him one time that there was one show. Now this was in the 70s or 80s, way before the internet, that she did not play Rose Garden during her show. So any of us, we go to see our favorite band and they don't play their number one song ever.
Furious.
You're mad as a fan. So in the 80s, before the internet, she got like hate mail and people were rioting because she did not sing that song.
Rioting.
Isn't that a funny little like
tear down the wall?
Yeah. They're like burning down Nissan Yankee Stadium or something. She played Madison Square Garden too. She was a big deal.
Yeah.
They actually have a rose garden. I think they said this in their interview. They cultivate and breed new roses in honor of their mom, and brought a couple back from extinction, which I don't know how plants work and seeds work. But there's also like blue cauliflower now. So I guess you can do anything.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
No, off topic.
Crazy. Well, it's a plant.
True.
Like kind of.
True.
But anyway, with the seeds, you can engineer them somehow. And yeah, they're bringing back roses. So that's another one of their hobbies too. But we thank them from coming on. And I'm glad you listened to it. Sometimes, I'll listen to podcasts that I don't know anything about.
Sure.
You'll
do it all the time.
Lynn was an icon in this city.
She was.
So, and in the genre of country music. And we need her in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, we do. Thank you,
Political
Stephanie
speech.
M. from Milwaukee.
Let's go up to Summerfest.
Let's do that.
With Steph.
All right. Final email. Are we ready?
Oh, this is from, I don't know the name. It's Jaime. So that's not Jamie. That's Jaime.
No, it's Jamie.
I thought it was Jaime.
No.
Oh, then I've been mispronouncing a coworker's name.
It could be Jaime. I had a very good friend for years who spelled it like that, Jamie.
Oh, wow. Yep. Okay.
But we can call Jamie Jaime.
Yeah. They say, my new faves. Aww. Between Wes's morning walks and Philip's hilarity. Is that hilaritiness? Hilarity is a word, huh?
Hilarity is, but I think it's hilariousness.
Oh, okay. Between Wes's morning walks and Philip's Philip being funny, I'm obsessed with you two. Philip, do you do shows around town? And Wes, did you ever get the guy's name from the walking trail?
Oh,
his name is Dan.
I was gonna say, you told me about Dan.
I said that every day it's like a couple more sentences. Well, Dan is retired. He and his wife live in East Nashville. Straight. Yep. 70 something, walks 11 miles every day. Unless it's raining, and then he doesn't want to because he's retired and he used to sell office furniture. And fun fact about Dan, whose last name I forgot, if he ever wants to take a trip, he will go back to work, sell some office furniture, and that pays for his golf trip to
look at Dan.
Yeah, I love Dan.
I bet Dan doesn't stretch though after he walks 11 miles.
Yeah, I hope he does.
He doesn't. No one does. That's why I'm in the business right now.
Oh yeah.
No one stretches.
I stretch like a little when I get to my car.
No, you don't.
But
not enough.
No, not enough at all. But the other day I had my friend Andriana with me and we were walking. He's like, "You got a new one, huh?" And I'm like, "Hey, Dan." And she's like, "Do you know everyone out here?" I'm like, "No, just Dan."
And the deer and the turkey.
And the deer. No turkey were out the other day. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, but she asked you that question, Philip. Do you do shows around town?
I did a show last night at the Albion, which, by the way, is one of the hottest places I've ever been in for a residence. It's apartment complex. It's hard to even call it that. These places are so nice.
Yep.
When I think apartments, I don't think that.
What we had in college.
Yes.
Like, $400 a month.
This place was freaking
roommates.
amazing. It was 3 other comics and I did a show in their entertainment space on the 20th floor overlooking Nashville at sunset. It was gorgeous. Wow. It was so much fun. So yes, I'm trying to do more shows in town. A friend of mine, Nicole, is setting up a series called Better Than Therapy. I think that's what it's called. Shoot, I should have looked it up before I said it. Anyway, to be at Third Coast. You can go to Third Coast and find it. I think it's October 10th.
Ooh, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's in their loft area. So I'm putting myself out there, just trying to get some exposure. And Jaime or Jamie, whatever your name is, I'd love for you to come to the show. Reach out and I'll let you know the next time I'm performing.
Look at that. Keep cracking me up while I sit for hours in this Nashville
He's
traffic.
here.
He's
Jamie,
in
send me a
Nashville.
message on Instagram and I'll let you know.
Jamie, I will say we went to Philip's opening kind of friends and family thing.
Oh,
and you killed it. And out of what, 9 comics, they were all really good.
It was a fun show.
And I'm not just saying it because we're friends, but it was really, really good. And you just did a gig in LA. Now at one of the newest high rises in town in their event space. I think that, hey, you might be the new Wayne Newton.
Hey, lower me into Bridgestone, bitch. I've always wanted that.
You've always wanted that.
I did.
I think Third Coast could lower you in. That's a start.
Large cable. I've had a lot of fast food in the last few months.
Jamie, that was a good question for
yes,
Philip
Jamie,
shows.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, Jamie, Stephanie, Jake, R. Who else are we missing?
My new boyfriend, Craig.
Juliet, Cam, Bradley, and Craig. Thank you so much.
I always wanted a Southern guy. So if he's from Montgomery, Alabama, which I think is where Hank Williams Sr. died. Random fact.
Really random.
He took pills in the back of a Cadillac in 1953.
He
died on New Year's Eve.
I will write that down in my journal of people that died on New Year's Eve.
Has nothing to do with being gay, but we're bridging the gap between pill poppers and
all right, into that. Okay.
His son Bo Cephas got married again.
This is what happens with Wes. It just goes, and then the episode should have ended at 50, and he's off with some like 1968. Patsy Cline barricaded herself in the bathroom. You're like, what? He's like, yeah.
No, he got married to like his granddaughter.
All right, guys, thank you so much for
look that up on Hank Williams Jr.'s Instagram.
Okay,
I like how Philip in the show notes is like done, but then that's my cue of just random quotes.
It's always like a 7-minute just like litany of like random country music facts and.
As Abraham Lincoln says.
Okay,
let's cut the camera.
All right.
There were no There were cameras then. There was not motion film.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're
okay.
Literally at 57.
Go. Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Gosh, get a Listerine. All right. Thank you guys for listening. And also thank you for sending in your emails and your DMs. We really do appreciate it. It means a lot to us to know that people are listening and have questions. Please keep sharing 2 Bottles Deep. You know, we're 3 seasons in and we're still growing and we're super grateful for that. But we want to keep going and keep sharing. If you've got ideas.
Oh, my God. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. A lot of the show ideas or the show topics come from y'all. And if we want to do any follow-ups on any past guests, I'm sure they'll come back. I'm sure Suzanne Hogan would love to come back. Come on back, Suzanne.
Yeah.
And write a review. We've gotten a few more reviews that we need to read one of these.
If you haven't left a 5, if you have left a 5-star review, I would suggest you get a new email address and do another 5-star review if you loved us.
Yeah, you're not doing anything next weekend.
No,
we did have one of Jason Cap's friends, one of the Mimosa Marys, wrote us a review.
Yes,
down in Birmingham. So thank you all for that. They have a fun group.
We sent them a care package, but it said it got lost. You follow up on that? It's still there.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Love you, buddy.
I
love you too. Have a good rest of your week, guys. Thank you for listening.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Oh, that was fun. Fuck.
Thanks for listening to another great episode of 2 Bottles Deep.
Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating wherever you get your podcast.
And while you're at it, write us a fabulous review.
Please reach out to us on our email, 2bottlesdeep@gmail.com.
There is plenty of love in this world. Be a part of it.